very valuable people. When they come into your life, they become more like a family. But when you lose them, it becomes a very difficult thing in life. This is the show, Painful Goodbyes. Do you have any story that you want to share? Just link up with me on the numbers on the screen below. Welcome to the show, Sandra. Today we are pleased to have you on this show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. People would love to know who we are talking to, and maybe you can briefly tell us who you are.
Okay, Sandra Moyo from Wangi. I'm 37 years old. I'm a teacher by profession. 3 years as a temporary teacher and 12 years as a qualified teacher. So together I've got 15 years teaching experience.
Okay, thank you very much. Teaching is a thing that you love. I'm wondering whether it's something that you started out with as a dream from childhood. Maybe if you can talk about that. I don't know whether it's something that you can talk about.
Yes, I can. Unfortunately, I didn't want to be a teacher.
Okay.
My dream was to become a civil engineer.
Okay.
I loved sciences so much. So I wanted to be in the science field. And unfortunately, I didn't do well in my math at ordinary level.
Okay.
I can simply say it wasn't because I wasn't capable of doing it, but probably some kind of attitude.
Okay.
And because of that, I diverted from civil engineering, but I still wanted to be in sciences.
Okay.
So I tried nursing. I literally applied in almost all the hospitals in the country. I dropped my applications. I was called for interviews at United Bulawayo hospitals and Mpilo hospitals only, but I didn't get a positive response from there until I hanged my boots.
And then you finally decided for...
Yes, then I finally decided to try teaching. With teaching, I didn't go right away. I still remember I went on the third time. The first time I applied, I got a place. I didn't go. I was still hopeful that I'm going to get a nursing place. Second time I applied, I had some financial challenges. I didn't go again. And then third time, I got a place again for the third time. Same college, Hillside Teachers College. Then that's when I said, where the Lord leads me, I have to go.
Okay.
That was end of 2010.
Okay.
So I started my teaching training in 2011 at Hillside Teachers College.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm wondering about the social aspect of your life, the issue of developing friends. Maybe if you can talk about that briefly. I don't know how you develop friends. You invite people to be close to you. Maybe we can talk about that.
What I can say is I can easily relate to anyone and anybody. But when it comes to making friends, I'm not very good at that.
So does it mean that you don't have a friend?
I do have friends.
Okay.
But
right.
Those that I can really call my friends, they are very few.
Okay.
I can talk to anybody and everybody, but I have very few people that I can really trust as friends. And I'm very good at keeping friends.
Okay. So what happens when you get a friend that becomes close to you and this friend becomes very important? What happens?
What I usually do is I usually relate with my friends as if they are my siblings.
Okay. Okay.
If I really make you my friend, you definitely become part of my family. That's what I can say.
So is there anyone in life that became like that, or there's someone that's still like that?
I used to have a friend. Her name was Zilin. She was close like that.
Right, we'll take a short break and then we'll talk about Zilipa after the break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to the second segment of the show, Painful Goodbyes. I'm with Sister Sandra and we are talking about the loss of a friend that is very valuable. So earlier on, before we took a break, you spoke about this friend, Uzilipa, and you said that when you have friends, you bring them so close that they look more like siblings to you. You want to talk about the relationship that you had with your friend. Can we talk about that?
Yes. What happened is 2011, I started my teacher training at Hillside Teachers College. And before I had friends that I was doing temporal teaching with. For them, they went to college in 2010, in 2010. So when I went to college in 2011, they were on teaching practice,
Okay.
both of them. So it actually meant that I did not have a friend on campus. On Saturday, we had a service. And then there were these two ladies who sang a beautiful song, Lean on Me, I still remember.
Okay.
They really sang that song beautifully. And I just heard they are from Cholocho. So it was really beautiful. And I really loved the music. Unfortunately, as time went on, I think it was around the second month at college, I had an asthma attack. I'm asthmatic. So I didn't go back to the church service in the afternoon. Then they announced that I was not well. And whilst I was sleeping in my dormitory, those two ladies came to check on me, the ones that sang in church.
Okay.
From Cholocho. So I was very happy. I was very happy. Now these ladies, they sang a beautiful song. They are here to see me. It was lovely. Then that's when the Zilipam Tombeni told me that, you know, we are in the same group for geography. I'm a geography major. So I was doing geography and art and design at Hillside Teachers College. I had not realized that we were in the same class. Our classes were big. And I'm a very shy person. So usually after class, I would just go straight to the dormitories, to the dining hall, or to the next lecture. But she had realized that.
Okay.
So it was very exciting, you know. This lady who can sing so well, we are in the same class. From there, we constantly saw each other in class, in church, and even in the dormitories. So that's when the friendship actually developed. And also during the time when I was not well, she was also helping out, going to the dining hall to bring me food. I actually didn't know that you can actually bring food from the dining hall, but she was bold enough to go and ask and also do it. So generally, she was a bold character. I can say that. And we became friends from there. The second and third term, we shared a room. So we became closer, me and her. We were so close. And even though the second year, she was deployed somewhere for teaching practice, I was at Townsend High School. We kept in touch. We kept in touch until we finished our course.
Just an interjection. What is it that brought you close to her? Knowing that you have a difficulty in making friends, you spoke about them singing and coming to you. What is that invisible bond that really brought the two of you together?
I think her generally, she was a loving person.
Okay.
So when we talked, when she came to see me when I was not well, she discovered I didn't know a lot of things around campus. And I'm sure she came in to fill up the kind of gap. I was a very shy person. So sometimes I wouldn't be confident maybe to go and collect assignments. Then she would say, let's go together. So from there, I don't know what I can say, that I actually utilized her strengths and she filled in my weaknesses.
Okay.
Such that most of the times, even if she sees a notice or whatever, she'll remember me and always say, I know you don't move around. There is such a notice. That's, I can say she was a loving person. So it was more of her than me. And then when I realized, no, this person really cares a lot about me, I decided to keep her as my friend.
It seems there is a time that she crossed the line from friendship to siblinghood, if there is such English.
Yes.
I don't know what you want to talk about that time when she crossed that.
What happened is we're deployed in different districts. She went to Cholocho, I went to Wange, back to my district. But we kept in touch. And then, as time went on, we both left the country. I went to Namibia, she went to South Africa. And I was the first one to leave. We were still in touch. So when I went there, when I was dropping my CVs, I was also dropping hers in schools where we were looking for jobs. Yes. So she was called for interviews at a very good school in Namibia. She came, we stayed together. She went for interviews. She passed the interviews. Unfortunately, she didn't finally work there because there was COVID. It affected placement and the crossing of borders. So she ended up settling in South Africa. From there, we were now very, very, very close. More like sisters.
Now then, there came this time when maybe you want to talk about the time when you heard the news, maybe what really happened, what transpired, because now we're talking about her in the past, so there should have been something that happened. Maybe let's talk about that.
What I can say is, me and her, we talked almost every day, daily. And we kind of updated each other about each and everything that is actually happening in our lives. I visited South Africa twice. And end of 2022, I stayed with her for close to 3 weeks. So I can say a week before she passed, I had lost an uncle 2 months back. So in the street where I stayed, there was a funeral. And then I had to tell her, you know what, there's a funeral here. And my emotions have been triggered. I'm just thinking about the loss of my mother and my uncle. She was such a strong character. So she kept on comforting me, you know what, we just have to accept. Then on this other day, she just told me, you know what, death is a blow. I really don't know how I can comfort you, especially the fact that the funeral is stretching and you're still feeling some painful emotions. So that week, on Saturday, she had a presentation, she was preaching. And then she told me she's preaching. She's also having a short break from work, from teaching. So that week, she was not at work, she was home. On the fateful Tuesday, it was the 27th of June, she texted me in the morning. We started chatting, our general daily chats. I think it was up to around 2 p.m. We were chatting. We closed the chat. I dismissed, went to work, went back home. When I was home, I think it was around 7, a few minutes before 8. I had a phone call. I was in the kitchen cooking. I had a phone call. I rushed to check on my phone. It was my brother who's in South Africa. Because of network issues, I couldn't pick up the call. So I checked, there were like messages from him. I checked the messages. They were, I was really shocked. There was a message. The first one was saying, Sandra, it's Sisno. It was written in Zulu. It's Sisno uzise chonile. I don't know how I can explain how I felt. At first, I thought, no, it can't be. I was talking to this person in the afternoon, and me knowing Z, we never hid anything from each other. If she was not feeling well, she was going to tell me. So I thought maybe it's some kind of, but it was connecting. Her elder sister is Nobesutu, so it was her. What I did is I didn't even respond to my brother. I tried, the first person that I texted was Zilipa's number. I was like, Z, what's going on? Because I was in denial. There was no response. She was someone who responded very fast. I texted her sister, there was no response. I then texted her other friend who was in South Africa, and another one who is in Zimbabwe, the lady that they were singing together called Tabitha. They both confirmed that she's late. I really broke down. It was a tough moment. It was really a tough moment. I still remember asking God to say, so God, of all the people, you decided to take Zilipa. Of all the people, you decided to take Zilipa. I thought the news were going to change. Because the following morning, at least her sister was now in a position to talk. She confirmed it also. She actually texted me midnight and said, I know you're going through a hard time because I know very well how you guys related. It's true. She's gone.
So when you heard the news, what is it that happened to you?
I was really shattered, Pastor. It was more like I had lost a part of me, a sibling. I had one of the longest nights. I didn't sleep. I can literally say I cried the whole night. And I kept on saying, God, of all the people, would you take Zilipa? Of all the people, why would you take Zilipa? It was a very tough moment.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing this story. We'll take a short break, and soon after the break, we'll discuss more on this story. Please stay tuned. Welcome back to the third segment of the show, Painful Goodbyes. And before we took a break, you spoke about the untimely loss of your friend. And she had gone to a level where she was like your sister. You want to talk about that kind of a relationship and the impact, its impact to the loss.
Z was such a consistent person. Like someone who would constantly check on you. Even on times when I was going through some difficult moments, she would always be there, a shoulder to lean on. And she was very good she was a good listener. And also, she was that kind of a person who wouldn't like impress you with wrong things. She would tell you straight up if you are doing a wrong thing that this is not proper. So that actually brought us very close together.
Now, the question, you have many why questions. I think amongst them, why did God allow this to happen? So what's your relationship with God after this event? And how did you relate to God?
A few months after she passed, I almost lost my faith. I still remember I was failing to even go to church. I was failing to even read the Bible or sing because I saw God as, no, he doesn't love me. Why would he take a precious person away from me? And also, I felt like God was unfair to my friend. She had ambitions. She was young, an energetic person who worked for the Lord. Why would she die so prematurely? But as time went on, I can say my relationship with God improved. Even my prayer life, it improved. I started even praying more. I even became closer to God. Because what I still remember is, before my friend passed, she used to say to me, even when things are difficult, God is still God. And most of the times, she was a person who actually accepts things very fast. So I had to say, let me imagine if she would actually be here comforting me about her death. What would she say to me? She would definitely say her usual statement that, you know what, sir, God is still God.
Now, when the news came to you that she is no more, I think you must have been given explanations, or did they give you explanations on what caused that? And is it something that we can talk about?
Unfortunately, the postmortem was done, but it was inconclusive. The cause of death was inconclusive. So that's what is really affecting me greatly when it comes to healing. Because if someone dies, at least you should know what really took them. But if you don't know, it actually takes time for you to heal.
Now, thinking about the time that you were actually down in your spiritual life and then you then rose to a place where you were okay, what do you attribute that to? How did the transformation come about?
First of all, I can say my family was there for me. They knew the kind of relationship that we had with Z. So they actually understood that I had lost a sibling. And unfortunately, I did not even manage to attend her funeral. So they kept on checking on me time and again. And when I say my family, this includes her blood sister. I can say I give her so much respect. She had lost a blood sister herself, but she also took it upon herself to constantly check on me. Even up to now, she still does. Even today in the morning, I have already received a good morning text.
Thank you very much. I think there's someone that is going through that. Maybe in 15 seconds, can you share exactly what are your last words to this kind of person who may be going through a difficult time?
Oh, what I can say is I will quote what my friend said when I lost my mother. She said to me, "Sir, Umama is sleeping in the grave waiting for resurrection." So I can always say to the next person, whoever you have lost, that person is sleeping in the grave and waiting for resurrection. We should not lose our faith. What if they make it to heaven and we don't make it because of bereavement? We will miss that reunion. That's what I can actually say. And also, pathfinders say, keep a song in your heart. I've been singing, it's number 43 in Christ in Song. She had also suggested that song to me when I lost my mother. So I kept on singing it, that this person is sleeping in Jesus and the resurrection is promised. Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing your story. And for me, Skumbuzo Due, Sandra Moyo, and the crew behind the scenes, it's a wrap.